daawadayaasha qiimaha qaaya loo kusoo dhawaada barnaamijkeenii saameynta nolosha qurbaha oo awalba daadihinayay mahad carabey sidaaba ula socotiin ayaamahan waxaa dhacay dilooyin aada u fara badan inuu ugu dambeysay tii ugu dambeysay oo 16 sano wiilka lagu digaayay magaalada Toronto gaar ahaan xaafadda Etobicoke Dixon. Maxamed Sheekh waa nin isla markaana ah iimaan oo ku xiran Masjid Al-Nur wuxuuna wax ka qabtay waxyaabo badan booliiskana isla markaas la shaqeeyay caaw wuxuu nala joogaa studiogeena Toronto ee wadanka Canada waxaan jeclaan lahaa inaan soo dhaweeyo Maxamed Sheekh. Assalamu alaykum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Maxamed Sheekh, welcome to our studio in Toronto.
Wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The first thing I would like to ask your brother is tell me something about you and what you do.
First of all, thank you very much for having me. I'm grateful to you and your community for having me here. The question that you have asked me, what do I do with youth? There are mainly 3 things that I do with youth. Number 1, I love them. Number 2, I respect them. And number 3, I support them. On these 3 issues, most youth who are being charged criminally and they are in the front of the court, I support them going through the court system. I support them to give them the opportunity to make their life differently of making those kind of decisions into making a positive decisions. That's in the nutshell.
Do you really think the justice system in Canada for youth is a fair system?
Justice system in Canada, when we talk about it, there are 2 things. There is youth justice and there is criminal justice, adults. Youth justice, of course, they have, as a matter of fact, in Canada, they have changed 3 times about the youth justice. But predominantly, if I would really say it, that it is fair, but it needs to be more fair. More needs to be done. The way the things progresses, the laws may be too old, it needs to be changed. But as far as I see it, it is somewhat, I would say it is fair, but still I will be able to say that it needs to be revisited and made it more fair.
Did you ever help Somali community and their families?
As a matter of fact, yes, I have been supporting, or I've been indulging to working with the Somali community for longer period. Absolutely.
What kind of system plan you have those youth who end up in a justice system?
Those individuals who are ending up into the justice system, as I said previously, that there are 4 things that we have what we call a plan. That is prevention plan and intervention plan. So prevention plan is before these youth would go into the justice system. And the other one that I said, intervention plan, it is when they are already been charged and before they go into the justice system, because the police are the ones who charges them. So we are working on both sides.
Okay. So did you ever meet Somali community leaders to discuss about the problem youth having in these countries?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I've been meeting with the Somali leaders for, I would say, more than 2 years. But recently that they are taking it very seriously, and especially I must give I am very, very grateful to the sisters, the ladies, the moms, because they are taking it very seriously, because we do have serious problems now. It is this problem is it's been getting out of the hand, And right now these Somalian leaders, what we call so-called, and the moms are very, very supportive, and they are waking up and they are supporting me very well. So hopefully, inshallah, when we will do something, something will come out.
Okay. In your opinion, Somali community do not have something called unity. And in order to resolve the issue we have as a Somali communities, we should come together. What you recommended in order to help those youth who end up in the justice system?
It's a very nice question. When we talk about the unity, you see what happens that it is a norm when the youth get into the trouble. Immediately we start blaming each other. The mother will be blaming the father will be blaming the mother, we will be blaming the community, we will be blaming the system, we will be blaming the police. End of the day, that we all has to come out and turn on and say that, okay, there is a problem. The best way to tackle this problem or to look for the resolution is to be united. We cannot pinpoint the fingers at each other by blaming. Now the time has come saying that, okay, how can we resolve this issue? And I would encourage, I would beg of you, I would beg of the community at the overall, is that this is the time that we got to be united. And I always say, what can you, anybody, bring it onto the table to resolve the issue, rather than saying that, you know, it is not my fault, it is the fault of the schools, it is the fault of the police, it is the fault of the mother, it is the fault of the imams. This is not the time. The time has come that unless and until, if we do not unite, these youth will not get any support from us that we are claiming to give them the support.
Okay. What's going to happen if a family of 6 people, mother, father, and 4 kids, one of the child end up in system? What happened to the rest of the family? Did they become more lost it, or maybe they cannot support their families, or they cannot support each other? What do you see in that family, the influence about the justice system?
Okay, if you look at it, family, let's look at the family. What I have seen practically, that once one of the youth has been made a mistakes or fallen, what we call he is on the ground, immediately we start deciding that he has put down the whole family on the ground, which is not true. We all make mistakes. Now the time has come that we got to support this individual lifting up by supporting him. What we do, we blame that individual, whether it may be a girl, it may be a boy. We turn around and judge them by saying that he has disgraced us, our family. That's one thing happened. The same thing happened with when you said the justice. Justice, when the judge is there, he wanted to see the support that this young person, say if I'm a judge, I like to see this individual, what support is he getting? Is he getting a support from a family, from the community, from the other places, like example, the support workers, example like me or other people? If those are missing, then the judge is going to look at it saying that, you know, he does not have support, because support will give him an opportunity to turn his life around. And that is a very, very big thing missing from Somali communities. I have seen very big missing. When he's brought into the court from the jail, this poor guy is looking around the court. There is nobody to help him. There is nobody to support him.
Most of my community believe that police is their enemy. What do you think?
When they look at it, when you said about the community, the community look at it as a police as their enemy, because the way the police does their job, yes, there is no doubt about it that they have to learn their job as well. Just to let you know that I have been involved with the police. I was a police chaplain. Police chaplain meaning that, you know, I used to, I came up with the 2 booklets, that what the police must know about the Muslims and what the Muslims should know about the police. So looking at them, police, as an enemy, it is very, very devastating. At the same time, looking at them as a friends, that when we look at it as a friend, because they have to do their jobs, so they have to learn also, they should be accountable, because as we say in the courts, there is nobody above the law. The police are also not above the law. They have to be abided by the law. So we, the community, needs to work together. The police need to work to community together as well. So if we will work together, the beneficiation will be given to the youth. That's what I believe.
Okay. Minister of Children and Youth Services give some funding to the community, especially when lots of violence happen to the communities. So we have a lot of Somali outreach workers. Did you ever work with them, or did you ever convince them to come up and work with you by side in a court system?
One time, one of the Somali community leader turned around and said something to this effect. And I was at the one place with the Somali group, a meeting, and I stood up and I am going to turn around and say it. I am so sorry to say it. In my 3 years of going to the court every day, I have never ever seen anybody in the court system supporting them. And I said, and I will say it again, the worst thing that anybody can do is give a youth a false hope. When we will give a false hope to a youth, this will be devastating for us. Why? Because they need our support. If we cannot support them, look for other means to receive support. But the bottom line is, I am so sorry to say it, those individuals who say they are there, I have never seen them.
Did you ever think which Somali community leaders, such as imams, such as fathers, such as mothers, such as community leaders, you could be able to convince them, come to the table and have a plan to help Somali communities?
You see, Sister Ayan, myself, I've been here 40 years more than 40 years in this country. I grew up in the Western country, and I came here when I was 21. But when you talk about the religious leaders or any other leaders, I am so sorry to say it, but what we have started seeing, that their agenda, when we approach to them, they always wanted to say that how will I be able to receive a benefit? In other words, they are looking for something that they gain, money-wise or the prestige-wise. If we have that philosophy, if we would turn around and change it, I have seen many religious leaders, of course, the imams and, but what I am encouraging them, the time has come out that instead of working from the masjid, they have to come out and outreach outside. Go to them, because those people whom I am working with, they are telling me that who are they giving the lectures to? We are not in the masjid. So what I am saying to them, that the imams, they have ability, because I have seen that these young people, they have a very big impact on their religion. Religion is one of the very, very big impact on the generally the Muslim youth. And I will not hesitate to turn on and say I do have a lot of respect for a lot of imams, but the one of the imams that I will not hesitate to say from the Khalid bin Walid, Sheikh Abukar, I have been working very many years, and I have found him to be very empathetic, very professional, and very committed. If we would have those kind of individuals, I have never ever seen this individual to turn on and say that what is there for me. If we would adopt this all over the board, I think we will be able to receive a lot of respect.
Okay. Do you think if we have a plan as a Somali communities and sit with the government, do you think they will be able to give us opportunities to execute that plan and help our youth?
Answering it, yes, definitely. But I will not, let me tell you one thing. I have seen many times, I have gone many times to many meetings, whether it is in the front of the ministers. Recently, last month, we were at the meeting, what we call Jain Hub, where there was a Somalian minister, Honorable Ahmed Hussein, who happens to be the immigration minister, who happens to be the MP, Minister of Parliament. He was from my area, he was there. There were many, many ministers who were there. But the problem that I saw, that the community does not have a plan. You cannot go to the ministers or the government without plan. We have a good intention, but those intention has to be saying that these are the plans that we have. As I said, what we call a model. The model has to be there to turn on and say that we are going to work on this model. And this model meaning that whatever the model we would come up with it what I call prevention and intervention, that if we would use those models and give it to the government is more than happy to help us. But we don't have our act together. Community. Somalian community will come, talk, and they will be able to turn on and argue. But at the end of the day, I have seen they are all looking for money. Money, of course, the government has to give the money because it is not their money, it is the money of the public. We are the public, we are the government. But we, public, has to come up with the plan. You cannot just turn on and say that I am going to do this, I need money. That's what I have seen.
Okay. So you participate so many meetings about Somali community when they're talking about our dying kids. And the only thing you saw is arguing and there's no way to have a productive meeting. It's not a productive meeting. And it's no plan to hold accountability for the government to say that we need this, and this is our plan. So what do you think, in your last word, what do you think about Somali community should do? Do you think that, because one of the things you should realize, my brother, is most of our Somali community didn't know about anything about justice system. And when single mom end up in a trouble with her child, she doesn't know where to go, how to get help, and how to hire a lawyer. And also, Somali community do not go around and learn things they're supposed to learn by going to school, by going learning about the justice system, but it's only not benefit from other people, but benefit from that family in particular, because we have a lot of kids who finish in university who do not have a job. And to get a job in this country, you should have a network. You should have people who you work with volunteer. So what do you think should my community do about it? Because, and if we don't do nothing and we continue like this, what's going to happen to us?
Okay. You see, first thing that we must do is acknowledge, accept that we do have a problem. Because if we will turn on and ignore the problem, say I'll give you an example. If we are living in the house and if our roof is leaking, the water is coming down, and we turn on and said that, you know what, ignore it. There is no, the water is not leaking. The water will keep leaking, and eventually the roof will cave in. Same philosophy. If we will ignore that we do have a problem, our community will be finished. If we came into this country to lose our children, then we were the biggest mistake we made. We came here because this is the golden opportunity. I came, like you came, like other people came, but I didn't come here to lose my children. I came here because the opportunities were there. So that's the first thing we got to do, is acknowledge that there is a problem. Number two, we must become educated. Learn about the system, that how our children are being judged. Two. Number three, like the last time that, many of my sisters, that we have been putting them into what we call restorative justice. Restorative justice is a very small, very basic and very nice tool, that if the youth has done something harm in the community, make them sit down and repair the community the harm that they have done. Example, if they have been caught stealing, shoplifting, make them pay, make them write the apology letter, so this youth would learn. But if you are going to ignore and saying that, this is not, my fault, it is not my child's fault, it is the child's fault of the sister so-and-so. That's what I have seen. We are blaming each other rather than saying that, okay, my child is my child and her child is also my child. They are all our children. And this way, learn. Also, empathize. I keep saying the words using empathy. Empathy means if I was that child, I was 15 years old, I did something wrong, how would I be expecting the community to do with me? The imams, the mothers, the community members. What we are doing, we are saying that no, we are okay, it's the other people they are wrong. That is not right. I am also going to take this opportunity to turn on and say to the imams, when these young people are coming, if they are coming with the na'uz billah, their hairs are long, their pants are down, do not tell them that, this is haram, this is haram, this is haram. Let them first come. Our religion is merciful, our Prophet is merciful, and only thing that we are doing is we should be merciful. When we will show the mercy, these young people will come to us. If we are going to judge them by na'uz billah, we judge the young girls when they are not putting the hijab on, the imams will turn on and say, this is haram. My dear respected friends, absolutely you are right. But remember, they are coming into the house of Allah. House of Allah, Allah is bringing them into the masjid. We are putting you there so you can bring them more. We are not giving you your wages, or we are not supporting your wages, your earnings, by throwing our children out of the masjid. So my suggestion to you is, we all, whether they are mothers, they are fathers, we should be empathized. And I will beg the parents, the fathers, that be committed. Those children are here. We should be committed. They made mistakes. They need support. Are you telling me that we never made mistakes?
No, we human.
I don't know about other people, but look at me. I am an old man. I will say that may Allah forgive me the mistakes I made. But my mother was there for me. My father was there for me when I made mistakes. and I will be there for my kids, and we all should be there for our kids because they are all our children. So my last thing is, please, please be committed. Help them. Don't say that I was the best, I am the best. We all made mistakes. And we are not angels, we are not prophets, we are human beings.
I went to one of those meetings, and one of the parents said that most of the mothers hide their kids because they say that he's in China studying doctor, and instead he's in prison. You think that mother have a right to say what she wants in order to protect her families?
Absolutely no. Mothers, it is, they have a good heart. My mother would have been doing the same thing by supporting me. But hiding them, I'll give you an example. These young people, we used to do small things, maybe stealings and all that. But I am involved with the heavy stuff, meaning that, I am working with the gangs. These individuals that they might have shot somebody, and the mother would know, because mother knows their sons better than anybody else. These young one who has done something wrong, please don't be afraid, because he needs help. He may be needing help. Not only this, so the best thing to do, if you know that your son has done something very wrong, big, try to get lawyers. Get the lawyers or get somebody to help them so that he would be receiving help. By hiding, if somebody has a disease, a big disease, and if you try to put down into the closet, that disease is not going to be gone. It has to be looked after. Yes, I have seen also that example. I'll take this opportunity that if some individuals has a mental issues, that we turn on and say that, let's read Quran. Of course, Quran will definitely help because I'm a Muslim. Alhamdulillah. Definitely it will help. But he needs right now the medical doctor. So read the Quran, but take him to the medical doctor. Don't hide him into the closet. Same disease, this individual who has came with the gun, and you know that he's hiding a gun. Before the police comes, right? Turn on and say that, okay, let's bring somebody, bring Sheikh Imam or anybody, saying that, okay, this is what has been done. Give him help by getting him a good lawyer, right? We should know what his rights are, because we do not know even what our rights are. So no, don't hide these things. Do not send them to Somalia, do not send them to India, do not send them to Pakistan and lie, because the police here, it is their job. They do their job diligently, and eventually you will be losing the faith, because we are Muslims. We will not lie. Na'udhu billah. No. Nor we will put anybody else's son under the bus just to save our sons. We will be fair, because Allah likes those people who are fair.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Jazakallah khair, my brother. I wanted you to let us know your last wisdom words to Somali communities or to youth, for every youth in these countries.
The first thing that you turn on and said about the youth. Youth are the ones that they have angers, they wanted to change their life, and I will say to the young people, and I'll say to the old people, this life, nobody does not go beyond challenges. I am old man, I have also challenges. You may be young people, you have challenges. But what we need to do is sit down and mediate, saying that, where does it hurt to you? Come to your parents and turn around and say that, you are, this is where it hurts me, because you are forcing me to marry somebody else, and I wanted to marry somebody else. Example, you are forcing me to go to the masjid, 5 times a prayer, which I cannot do. Don't be afraid. Don't keep your anger in yourself. Same time with the parents, same time with the community members. Respect your youth. Respect them, that don't believe that they will be, na'uz billah, they will be prophets. Don't expect them too much. Work on them so they will become a productive citizens of the community that we all live in, and they would be good people, and you would be committed to provide what they have rights to be provided to. Be there for them. If you are a father, if you have issues with your wife, that does not mean that because I have issues with my wife, I'm going to take off. No. Yes, things happen in the community, but I'll be there. I'll be committed, because I have brought these young people into this world. They have challenges. I'll be there. Same thing with the youth. I'm saying that your parents have issues, that do not make judgment about them, saying that they are not good mothers or they are not good parents, because they have issues as well. So my last begging is, try to mediate.
A lot of Somali communities do not support their youth. And you saw so many another ethnicity, different culture who support their families. What do you think the other culture are? Did they be able to support their youth? Did they be able to help them their youth about the justice system?
To learn about the youth, I will ask the community, concerned parents, imams, the leaders, please take your time and go to the courts. Go to the courts and learn. Just be there one day, that you will be able to see what is happening to them. That's one thing. Second thing, take an opportunity to go to jails. There are so many youth are in the jails that there is no hope for them. There is no support for them, and they've been locked up. Because in this country, as you asked me before, is the justice fair? I will not hesitate to turn on and say, justice only fair to those who has money. Those people who have money, they have good lawyers. Most of the Somalian youth that I have seen into the front of the judge, they all have what we call legal aid provided lawyers. And to be fair, I will say it is their rights are not being preserved because of the money. Because if you pay a big lawyer who makes $500 an hour versus to a person who's charging $150 an hour, you will see the difference between the service. So my last thing is, please, 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 only way we can learn is by going there. You cannot learn out of court and thinking what goes into the court. Go there, look at it. What's happening to our youth? How are they being treated in the jails? How are they being treated into the schools? How are they being treated our youth on the ground? How are they being used in the community? That we will only be able to learn, as I said to the one of the imam, you got to come out from the masjid, go to the place where they are playing, or go to the club. There's nothing wrong going to the club, because when you will go to the club, you will be able to learn what is going on in the club. Then you will be able to come to the masjid and turn on and say that this is how to save yourself.
Okay. Thank you very much. There's a question, this is not a question, there's an opportunity I told them Somali mothers, and I hope they took that opportunities. They will be able to hire one firm by putting aside maybe $20 a month. So $20 a month for 200 women is a lot of money. So that money, accumulated by tomorrow if one of our kids end up in trouble. It's not necessary my friend's son end up in trouble. Maybe my friend's son is a very good child, but if he put that money toward those who need help, she might get it a care back from her families, and may Allah protect them in their family because she donated sadaqah for $20. So that money, it also can give powerful lawyers who be able to defend our kids. So what do you think of that idea?
I have came to know about this idea, but let me give you a brief things.
Okay.
One of those charges, the charges that we are talking about, say attempted murder or assault with the weapon or found in the guns, these things, very basically, one charge will cost about $25,000 to $30,000. So if you are going to help the youth, you are helping at the end of the year about 4 kids. But
MashaAllah.
you know what we are saying about the giving the money? Let me take this opportunity. We have built the masjid. Masajid have been built in our country. Now the time has come that we need to build the communities. And instead of doing this, the youth, we have a lot of potential on the youth. So you make use of the youth. Ask them that how can we help you? So the best thing is our sisters, we got to create in the masjid what we call social wings. Help, let the imam use the religious wing by promoting religion. But you sisters can do a very well job by building the communities.
MashaAllah. Jazakallah khair, my brother, and thank you for coming our studio, Universal TV in Toronto, in Canada. daawadayaasha qiimaha qayaalo waxaan soo gaarnay gabagabadii barnaamijkeenii ahaa saameeyaha nolosha qurbaha. waxaan kaloo oo mahad ballaan u soo celinaya ummadda Soomaaliyeed meel al meesha joogtaan ay dhageysanaysaan. waa gabagabadeenii barnaamijkeenii iyo farsamadii Cali Bakri. Salaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi wabarakaatu.